the obvious flaws in the launch dito sa sa Bagong Pilipinas is the admission na this is a delayed thing. They were going to launch it last year and for some reason hindi natuloy. Tapos, ang pinag-uusapan dito, I found it a little bit ironic or a lot ironic na pinag-uusapan na ang bawal ang tamad. Bawal ang things that the administration are being criticized for. So kung sino man ang nagsulat nitong talumpati ng ating Pangulo did him a disservice. You know, parang ano ba, kakampi ba kayo ng Pangulo o ano? O ano yung, why do you do this to him? Kasi,
ano yung mga bawal? Paki-enumerate.
Teka, hanapin ko lang. O, bawal ang tamad at makupad sa pamahalaan. Walang puwang ang mga mababagal at sagabal sa serbisyong publiko. Service must be projects must be faced. Projects must be completed on time. Deadlines must be met per schedule. Distress calls must be responded to without delay in whatever government office. Red tape must be replaced with red carpet. At saka palitan na ninyo yung sungit ninyo. Palitan na ninyo
Wait lang, parang meron pa ba, Attorney Trixie? Okay, please continue.
We are addressing trading and transport bottlenecks. Itinigil din natin ang pagkukotong sa daan at sa pantalan sapagkat ang tong ay nagiging presyong ipinapatong sa mga mamimili. Yeah. Oh shit, Sherlock! Wow! Yan, magandang gabi sa inyong lahat. Ako po si Trixie Cruz Angeles, ito ang Luminous. And tonight we have our extra special with sugar and ube on top. Special guest, Miss Sas, Orlando Saso at magandang... ano ba yung pangalan mo? Walang magandang desisyon sa buhay. Okay, sige. Fine. Teka. Alright. Bati ka muna, Sas. Hi. Bati ka muna.
I'm sorry. Alam mo naman, walang maganda akong desisyon sa buhay, no? Medyo nawawala-wala ako. Pasensya na po kayo. Magandang gabi po sa lahat ng nanonood ng Luminous. Ayun ba ang topic mo for tonight?
Kasi binasa. Alam mo, pinanscribe ko, binasa ko. I wanted to figure out, ano ba itong panablan nila? Kasi, of course, obviously, dito sa sa communications between the two strategies, talong-talo yung Bagong Pilipinas. Kasi the day after, who is talking about what? Even they are talking about what President Duterte said. So kumbaga, sa paligsahan kagabi, yung kabila may hakot, yung kabila they had all the bells and whistles, they had the support of government resources, people were bussed in, government employees and officials were required. There's a prepared speech, may multimedia ka-ekekan and so on, and lots of artista. Tapos,
so, very ka-camping rally.
Oo, parang ganon, exactly. So, may production values, di ba? Pero, at the end of it, even kunwari, yung sa talumpati, I don't wanna get personal again. Pero, the president sounded like he was really just leading and it lacked oomph or even sincerity. Yeah, parang ganon. Pero, ang punto ko is, it doesn't have to have or any of that for it to have an impact. Ang difference is, yung kabila, grabe sa impact. Para tayong nasampal 10 beses. Not in a bad way, di ba? But,
well, ganito lang yan. From a communication perspective. So, communication perspective muna tayo. Correct. The Bagong Pilipinas Kick-Off Rally is supposed to be something like the Bagong Lipunan of...
exactly.
So, if you're going to launch something like that, especially if you're going to declare, eto na ang Bagong Pilipinas, una, makinig kayo. Una, dapat ginaya nyo si Makoy. Si Makoy, meron siyang pamphlet. Pamphlet ba yun, libro?
Libro!
May libro, tapos meron doon philosophy. Ano yung, di ba meron siyang mission, etc. At meron babasahin yung mga tao. Kasi you're launching, this is a dramatic transition. Bagong Pilipinas. Ano yung bago? Ano ba yung luma? Ano yung philosophy ng pagbabago? Kasi that's very grand. Kasi si Digong noon, napaka-modest lang. Sabi lang niya, I just want the Filipinos to live a comfortable life. Comfortable life. Parang, okay.
But it was very simply stated. Pero behind it, may history.
Yes,
diba?
Gusto ko makalakad kayo sa mga lansangan na walang takot sa inyong puso,
Correct.
sa mga addictus benedictus, ganyan. So, dapat, itong launching na to, it should be the kind of moment
Mm.
na, from a communication strategy,
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
moment na, pag ginawa natin to, dahil Monday, Tuesday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December, yung pa rin ang nasa isip ng mga tao. Because this is a monumental event. Bago Bagong Pilipinas eh. On the other hand,
It was in
yung kabila,
yung kabila. Diba, kumbaga, sanay tayo, di ba? Hindi na to surprise yung ginagawa ni Presidente Duterte. Pero na-miss ng mga tao. Di mo? Nung presidente siya, he would speak directly to the people. Meron mga spokes, di ba? Meron siyang PCOO and all that. And they were responsible for giving responses of the government, of the administration, nag-state ng mga bagong programs and all that. But Duterte, only Duterte could be Duterte. The best spokes of the Duterte administration was the president himself. And yesterday, he did not disappoint. Vintage Duterte, yung mga tao nga, imbis na mag-react negatively dun sa pagmumura, oy, na-miss ko yan. Ganon. And even the folksy charm, everything was there. Pero grabe the impact. Simple lang, he's master communicator. He had one message. Ang message niya was the danger presented dito sa People's Initiative. In addition to which, the danger of putting into the hands of people who cannot be trusted, of people who have not shown a track record that would make them worthy of our trust, with the changing of the most basic document that constitutes us into a nation. Kumaga, matagal na natin itong pinag-uusapan, but only Duterte could have put it the way he did, na lahat ng tao on board. Alam niya. Tapos,
yes,
to hold attention, grabe yung mga papitik niya. Yung iba hindi pitik, sipa eh. So, di ba?
At ito na. Ang international ano ba 'to ang sasabihin ko? Ngayon, post 28, 29. So, we cannot put that toothpaste back into the tube. So, ngayon, ang communication strategy ngayon ng palasyo to counter the 28 is to bring back the fentanyl issue. I think it's a good tactic. I'm gonna give them that. It will give something for people to talk about. But the problem is, yung mga ganyan kasi na pasiklab, ano yan para yung Roman candle na sindihan mo, siklab, mauubos. Lalo na, inulit mo lang yung issue noon. Tapos, the counter is not actually that bombastic. Because it is a prescribed medicine.
Number one, yes.
Because kailangan, at si Duterte na mismo yung umamin noon na he was taking, actually hindi, kasi naisip kasi ng mga tao pag sinasabing fentanyl, yung nakikita nila sa US, no? Yung mga nasa street, ganyan. Actually, yung medicine, yung dinitake kasi ng mga nasa street na yun yung mga tablet. Yun yung tablet ng fentanyl. Yung medicine kasi, parang plaster yan eh. Ipaplas mo siya doon sa, kung saan yung may pain. Tapos, ano siya meron siyang mga contraindications kung saan mo lang siya gagamitin. So, it's actually a controlled one. And, so parang ganun yung na, okay, sige, you gave something, for your fans to use against digong, fentanyl, ganyan, etc. But the thing is, after you did that counter, what's next? Si digong hindi tapos.
Yan. Ano yan tiered approach yan Hindi niya i-discarga lahat ng bala niya sa isang akyatan. Tsaka, he has in his head a timetable. Halata Kasi meron siyang, di ba, na-reveal niya, may tiered approach. Military, PNP, tingnan niyo yung ginagawa sa saligang batas. You're supposed to defend the Constitution and protect the people. So, pag hindi sila gumalaw, we might have to take to the streets. Kasama ako dyan. So, ayun na yun. Pag hindi gumalaw, tayo naman. And then, that will force the hand. of the military and the PNP. So medyo malalim na yung pinag-uusapan niya dito. Tapos ang sagot ng kabila, fentanyl.
Yeah. So hindi siya it's not I find it good just to give a feeder sa press. Just kasi ang pinag-uusapan na lang lahat ng tao si Duterte. So yung kanyang so you just need to give something for media to talk about. So binalik yung fentanyl issue. And yung comeback kasi, you know what? When you're doing strategic communication, alam yung comeback mo, if it's something that already been used before, it's not going to be effective. You need to give something surprising na talagang magigimbal ang eksena keme. Kasi si Duterte, yung halimbawa, yung accusation ni Digong na drugay. Nung kampanya, hindi niya pinangalanan kung sino. 21, 22, 23, 24, after 3 years, pinangalanan niya na. Diretsa. Diba? At sinabi pa niya doon sa mga militar na meron tayong emerald na presidente. Now, if you're gonna read how Duterte is doing this, noong una hindi niya pinangalanan, okay, warning. Presidente ka na. Inapuno uli yung matanda. Pinangalanan ka na. Ang tanong ay, ang sabi pa naman nila, Trixie, great things come in threes.
So do disasters, by the way, ha?
Hindi, so paano ngayon yung third installment? Kasi yung third installment yung climax eh. So, di ba, kung ganun yung pattern kasi titingnan mo yun, di ba, una, warning.
Yeah.
Ikalawa, pinangalanan na kita pero may warning. Pero ano pa rin yung parang pag warning yan, parang ano ba mga kulay ng mga warning? Yellow, orange, red. So nasa orange level na tayo. So, baka ma-red na. At yung red yung nakakatakot.
Yeah.
Kasi hindi natin alam yun eh. Digong is so unpredictable.
Yeah. So, I think that it was not well thought out. Hindi rin they were preparing for Bagong Pilipinas. Understandably, that's their parang coming out party nila yun eh, na ginawa na nila several times. Di ba, Bagong Pilipinas was launched in 2023. Parang it fizzled out for some reason kasi hindi malinaw kung ano yung purpose niya. Pero, dito, pag binasa mo yung sinasabi ni Pangulo, nakalagay din doon that, ngayon, may plano na. Bali, kumbaga, hindi lang to aspirational. Meron na tayong plano. Pero yung binanggit niya is the Philippine Development Plan of 2023 to 2028 or 2020. Yeah. So, sabi ko, bakit ganun? Yung 5-year plan na ni-launch na last year, yun pa rin yung niya ngayon. Oo, parang ano nangyari? Relaunch? Failure to launch last year? O ano? Tapos, wala siyang sinabi. Hindi niya nilantad na, ito, the Philippine Development Plan states the following basic principles, ganyan. Wala. Marami na akong nakausap at medyo ang iisa yung mukhang bibig nila at sinasabi na ito ay puro motherhood statements. Siyempre, pag ang sinasabi mo are things that any ordinary government ought to be observing, kind na yun pag sinabing motherhood statement. So yung mga tipo...
Kasi di ba may EO yan? Or memorandum, dati na ano yan? Memorandum order. Alam ko meron yan last, pinuna ko pa nga yan. Ano pala, Memorandum Circular 24, dated July 3, 2023.
Okay.
So, ang nakalagay doon, Bagong Pilipinas campaign calls for deep and fundamental transformations. In all sectors of society and government and fosters the state's commitment to the attainment of comprehensive policy reforms and economic recovery. So ang ano ko dito is deep and fundamental transformations. Ano yun? Ang iniingi na namin dito sa itigil ang liquidation by certification, and that's a deep and fundamental transformation.
Wala rin he did not even address that.
Crickets!
Diba? Oo. Teka, hanapin ko lang yung transcription ko. Tsaga ako pinagtatranscribe ko pa to. So, dun sa Uy, nakakaloka to. Ayan. Pagdating dito sa government, ano ba yan? No, first he talks about a crisis of confidence. So ito yung matagal na nating sinasabing, the Philippines seems to have low self-esteem. Pero sa atin na rin to nanggaling. Doon sa sinasabi natin ito, in response to this, well, even in previous generations, problema talaga ito. Tapos he addresses it and he says that we have to restore faith in ourselves, belief in our strengths, and trust in our institutions. Only then can we have confidence to bravely confront whatever tomorrow brings. That's a lot of words that says actually nothing. Right. So, but tama yun, may crisis of self-confidence tayo. And then he talks about people who promote the negativity, ganyan. So, ang sinasabi niya dito, ibabangon tayo from all of that. So, no? He doesn't say that exactly. So, ang sabi niya, kailangan daw magpresenta ng agenda for a future with clear benefits for our people. For only by providing clarity will they invest in it. So, kailangan daw may blueprint. And that blueprint already exists. It is the Philippine Development Plan of 2023, which apparently they have not been implementing since it was launched last year. But 2023 nga 2024 na ngayon eh. And it was launched early in 2023. Actually, ito ay bunga ng mga inutos niya sa gabinete na pag-aralan yung mga plano nila para sa kanilang mga departamento. So sinasabi na meron kasi, sa umpisa kasi ng administrasyon, every week nagre-report ang kada department. At nilalagay doon yung mga plano nila, ano yung mga gusto nila for their department at saka para sa bayan, di ba? So, ang problema, parang hindi lahat nakaintindi ng homework. Kasi yung ibang nagpipresenta, sasabihin nila, plano na, wala yung assessment ng issues. Bukod pa doon, hindi nila itinutugma doon sa plano ng presidente. So,
wait lang. Let's just give people a timeline. January 30, 2023. Marcos on January 27, Ferdinand Marcos signed an executive order approving and adopting the Philippine Development Plan for the period of 2023-2028. He signed this on January 27. So this was a year ago.
Correct.
Bet. Bakit mo i-kick off rally ang plano that was approved January 27, 2023, ang kick-off rally 2024, 1 year delay?
Maraming attempts. Kasi nga, hindi naman nila itinugma doon sa Bagong Pilipinas kaagad. So, yung Bagong Pilipinas kasi, ibang programa yan. Ito yung branding program nga. So, I think i-reformulate nila. Branding. So, ano yung pagkakaintindi ng branding? Nung nag-umpisa yung administrasyon, nag-start yung kailangan nakikilala ang Marcos brand. Sige ma'am, ano po ma'am? Ano po ang Marcos brand? Kailangan ganito yung kasuotan. So, yung kasuotan, yung katulad nung first Marcos administration. So, lahat halos ng mga kalihim, may template yung suot. Okay, sige, we get that. It's visual, it's identifiable. Maganda naman. Pero of course, hindi tayo titigil doon. Ang problema, yun na nga, nagkaroon ng, dapat merong planning session, walang nangyari na ganon. So, kada kalihim, merong mga homework yan. Tapos, inuutos during the cabinet meeting, ito, i-correct mo yan dun sa mga prinisinta mo. Pero wala talagang harmonizing. Halimbawa, DENR, ang prinisinta naman ng DENR, ganito lang, certain aspects lang ng department. Kasi, according dun sa kanyang mga ASIC at USEC, kinausap ko pa talaga, kasi si ma'am, sabi nila, ang orientation ay climate change. So, kapag pinag-uusapan na ang mining, mining yung homework niya kay presidente. So, pagka yun na yung mga pinag-uusapan, nahihirapan siya. Kasi may mga basic understandings, may mga kailangan ka para maintindihan. So, it would have helped kung abogado ka, geodetic engineer, yung mga ganon. Kahit biology major, pwede pa para makaupo ka. So, yung ibang mga undersecretaries at mga ASECs, yun yung mga undergrad, mga abogado, pero may undergrad in biology, in botany, in engineering, and so on. So, yung kalihim, hindi niya maintindihan. Ang dami-dami niyang departments. Kapag nga nag-execom meeting ang DENR, yung boardroom nila sobrang laki. Kasi ang dami nilang mga ED for each concern ng department. So instead, pinisinta niya yung tungkol sa climate change at mag-concentrate lang siya doon. Kung kaya't yung department nag-fail siya doon sa ibang mga targets for the next 5 years pagdating sa international obligations natin, which dapat hindi natin sinusunod. May targets tayo for our own management for waste, like solid waste, and air quality, yung mga ganyan, mga basics na ganyan. Walang targets for that. So ang targets ay ano ba daw ang gagawin natin para sa climate change? Obviously, ang climate change kasi, it is a confluence of things. And teka muna, ano ba ang national policy natin pagdating sa climate change? Dapat meron tayong sasabihin. Ang polisiya ng Pangulo maliwanag. We hold accountable those responsible for climate change. Ang contribution natin sa climate change, pakaliit. Kasi ang liit nating bansa, di tayo nagdadump ng ng nuclear wastes, di ba? Wala tayong Fukushima. Wala tayong we don't have enough fuel to dump that kind of the kind of particulates in the air that cause global warming. Ang konti lang nun. So dapat nini-negotiate natin with the countries, the major polluters, yung climate change credits natin, yung pollution credits natin. Hindi rin yata apparently natrabaho yun.
Diyan mahina si
Si Sec.
Hindi lang si Sec, no? Kasi Lord Almighty. So ibig sabihin walang nagawa in that regard. So
we're losing the war na eh. Sinabi we're losing the war on plastics.
Sino sabi?
That is an actual statement from the Secretary of the DENR. We're losing the war on plastics. We're number 3 or number 4
number 3. Number 3.
Yung sa pagdump ng plastics that create the Great Pacific Floating Garbage Island.
Number 3. Pero the thing is, if we're losing the war on plastics, just yung plastic na nga lang yan eh.
Actually, kaya natin yung plastics, kaya natin eh. Kasi bayong, meron tayong mga alternatives.
Yan ang mahina sila. Dapat, they took a really, really simple issue like war on plastics and did marvelous job on it. May milestones. Alam mo yon, yan ang kulang eh. Wala silang ganon eh. Okay, ang ang dami kasi nilang na hindi nila ginagawa na napakalaki kagad. Halimbawa, bilang na ang araw ng mga smugglers at hoarders. Asan na yung mga binilang yung araw? Diba? Itong war on plastics, this is a low-hanging fruit. If halimbawa ako, sabihin ko sa kanila, alam niyo, gawin niyo yung war on plastics, tapos ang gawin niyo, magawa kayo ng mga milestones, kasi yun yung magiging, kasi ayaw mo namang mag-war on drugs, ayaw mong tumegi, carry. So, kailangan mo ng unifying campaign na, ma-associate mo sa'yo. Pwede mo sabihin ng war on plastics, kasi, ito na po ang nagawa namin sa war on plastics. Kasi yun, alam mo yun, makakapuka yun ng attention eh. Diba? Pero, yung sasabihin mo, we're losing the war on plastics, hindi mo pa sinisimulan yung gera. That's bad.
Correct. So, yan. So, yun. Isa pa yan, di ba? Yung the obvious flaws in the launch dito sa Bagong Pilipinas is the admission na this is a delayed thing. They were going to launch it last year and for some reason, hindi natuloy. Tapos, ang pinag-uusapan dito, I found it a little bit ironic or a lot ironic na pinag-uusapan na ang bawal ang tamad. Bawal things that the administration are being criticized for. So kung sino man ang nagsulat nitong talumpati ng ating Pangulo did him a disservice. Parang kakampi ba kayo ng Pangulo o why do you do this to him? Kasi
ano yung mga bawal? Paki-enumerate.
Teka, hanapin ko lang. Bawal ang tamad at makupad sa pamahalaan. Walang puwang ang mga mababagal at sagabal sa serbisyong publiko. Service must be projects must be faced. Projects must be completed on time. Deadlines must be met per schedule. Distress calls must be responded to without delay in whatever government office. Red tape must be replaced with red carpet. At saka palitan na ninyo yung sungit ninyo. Palitan na ninyo
Wait lang. Who wrote that red tape should be replaced by red carpet? Dude, alam mo, Trixie, halatang ang sumulat ng speech na to ay amateur. Dude,
yeah.
Kasi kilala ko mga yung mga gandang speeches ni Duterte na hindi naman niya binabasa. Kilala ko sumusulat. Hindi makakalusot yung very Corny. Ang corny nung red tape must be replaced by red carpet. Be! Ano to, ano pa to, student council ng grade school?
Well, unfortunately, hindi nga inspiring eh. Oh.
Bakit tuloy nga red tape?
So, yeah. I think they're trying to be cute. But for something ang projection, hindi sila yata makadecide kung ito ay seryoso and an undertaking at the level of the Bagong Lipunan project of the first Marcos administration.
Who actually? Who wrote that? And,
wala yata amin.
And yung mga binabanggit nila na ganito dapat, those are actually really the duties of public servants and civil service.
These are ordinary.
These are common.
These are obligations already existing. In other words, hindi siya nagdadagdag. Walang value added dito. All he's saying is, gawin natin yung dapat ginagawa natin. So, ganun ang lumalabas na message. Kasi he's not asking them to go above and beyond. He's asking them to do this, which is something that they ought to be doing anyway. So, bakit kayo magbabagong Pilipinas for something that has to be done anyway?
These are bare minimums. When you enter government service, those are really what you need to do.
Ito, pangalawa, bawal ang mga hindi tapat, ang mga nangungulimbat. Of course, ang pera ng bayan ang nawala dahil sa katiwalian, ang mga taong paglalaanan sana ng pondo, naglaho. Ang pondong naglaho ay nanakawan. Bagong Pilipinas, bawal ang waldas. Ang paghahanda, lalo na ang paggugol ng budget ng bayan ay bukas sa publiko at hindi kinukubli. Walang parte nito kinukupit o sinusubli.
Oh, wait. Isn't it that the most talked about anti-corruption issue and transparency issue in the past few months is the liquidation by certification?
The thing is, they don't even acknowledge that. So,
Yeah.
kung sasabihin niya na ito ay listening government, I think hindi. Ito. Pangatlo, bawal ang mapang-api at naghahari-harian. You're servants of the people, not their lords. Huwag natin pahirapan ng taong bayan bagkusuklian ang kanilang tiwala na magalang na panunungkulan. So let me reiterate this. Feedback is essential to government. Without it, mistakes can't be corrected. Bad behavior cannot be sanctioned. Best practices cannot be learned. And good deeds cannot be commended. Sa Bagong Pilipinas, ang masama ay ireklamo, ang mabuti ang masama ay ireklamo, ang mabuti irekomenda. Ngunit ang mga papuri at puna ay di dapat intayin, kumatok na lang sa ating opisina. Obligasyon natin na nasa gobyerno na hanapin ito. Kailangan natin bumaba sa masa. Doon ako napatingin. Kailangan natin bumaba sa masa upang tingnan ang kanilang kalagayan at alamin ang kanilang hinaing. Huwag iasa ang pagpisil sa kanilang pulso sa mga report lamang. Tapos na ang panahon ng pagkukuyakoy sa loob ng mga tanggapan ng gobyerno. Di siya nahirinan. Promise. Oo. Hindi kasi, parang binasa yata nila yung mga reklamo. Speech. Okay.
Ano ang issue before ng kick-off lunch? Issue sa presidente, ano?
Elitista.
Hindi, ano yung issue? Hindi yung concrete na issue. As in nangyari. Hindi yung general lang. Ano yung nangyari? Di ba yung nanood siya ng
Coldplay.
Nanood siya ng Coldplay using helicopter. I think it was just a week before this.
Wala pa.
And then, tapos ito yung sasabihin mo na parang
Isa pa. Bumaba kasi. No, kasi ito mismo, napaka-elitista ng tunog. Kailangan ninyong bumaba sa masa. Wait, I didn't know we were here in the baba, Mr. President. Sorry.
May kilala ako nagsabi niyan. Kung nung panahon ni Duterte, kailangan nating bumaba sa baba. Dahil kung hindi ako bababa sa baba.
Bababa ba?
Di ba yan din ang sinabi ni Lenin, kailangan nating bumaba sa nasa baba? Ano lang yan bumaba tayo sa laylayan ng lipunan. Bumaba tayo sa baba, di ba? So,
It's yan in different words.
so I think, who wrote this? Alam mo, whoever wrote this did a huge disservice to the president. Kasi, girl, parang hindi nila nakita yung gravity of the situation, no? Na, kailangan ng isusulat ko ditong speech, yung it will be remembered by posterity. Kasi, girl, nagla-launch ka ng, this is the bagong lipunan of Makoy Jr.
Yes.
The bagong lipunan of Makoy Sr. Wow, if you read the book, no? And at binasa ng mga tao. So ngayon, parang tapos na ba? Tapos na ba yung mga desiderata niya? Meron pa?
Well, it's more ito, so I'll skip some other parts. We will no longer tolerate smuggled food that impoverishes our domestic producers and puts our economy at risk.
Wait lang. You know what? This is the problem with the scriptwriter. Ang wording mo sa smuggled goods, we will no longer tolerate. Ano sabi yung bang word? Anong exact sentence? We will
no longer tolerate smuggled food.
Okay. If you're going to write that, at matino kang writer, pag binasa mo yan, ano ang implication yan? We will no longer tolerate it before this launch. Ikalawang point, Attorney Trixie, no? Alam mo to, no? Naging press secretary ka. Dapat nagbabackread ka ng mga sinabi ng presidente para merong coherence yung mga sabihin mo. Nung sona ng presidente, ang sinabi niya, bilang na ang mga araw ng smugglers at hoarders. That is an ultimatum. Tapos, after 6 months, dinilute mo yung wording into, we will no longer tolerate smuggled goods. Did you see the drop of energy? From bilang na ang mga araw nyo to we will no longer tolerate smuggled goods. My Lord Almighty, the writer should be,
hand and quartered.
Okay, next. Next po.
The ultimate objective is to make food affordable to all, and one way to achieve this is to make it accessible to consumers.
Wait. Trixie.
I'm not making this up!
Trixie, pakiulit yung sentence na yan.
The ultimate objective is to make food affordable to all, and one way to achieve it is to make it accessible to consumers.
Ano ang synonym ng affordable? Trixie, ano ang synonym ng affordable? Nandun din sa sentence na yan. Accessible.
Accessible and affordable.
Pareho lang po yung ibig sabihin ng affordable at accessible. So parang ang nagsulat nito, Trixie, ay tinatamad at kumuha ng yung thesaurus yung sa word, yung right click, thesaurus, ano bang ibang word ng affordable? Ay, accessible. So, sa madaling salita, ang gusto lang yung sabihin, we want to make food accessible to poor people. Ano poor people ba yung sinabi?
Make food affordable to all.
Make it affordable to all, and one way of achieving this is making it affordable.
Affordable to consumer.
Because accessible and affordable mean the same thing. Yes, affordable and accessible mean the same thing. Kasi may level yan eh. If you would like to sound more sophisticated and you don't want to sound, the least condescending word for affordable is accessible. And then affordable, and then cheap. Gets niya?
Yeah. Most of this speech is condescending actually. Parang it is written by a person na hindi talaga nagtrabaho sa gobyerno at hindi naiintindihan yung problema nito. Bukod pa doon, itong nagsulat nito, never naging hampas lupa o ordinaryong taong bayan. Talagang looking down on us. So itong grand unveiling is really a grand unmasking. Well, actually alam na natin ito, pero parang pinatunayan lang nila yung mga suspicions natin. Tapos hindi pa yon, kinuha nila, ito suspecha ko pinakinggan nila tayo dun sa mga natin, sa mga, hindi ako nagbibiro. Tapos ito yung tingin nila sa gobyerno, sige ganyan. Parang, what? Pero you don't understand. Reklamo namin dito sa inyo. But you're saying this like it is reklamo dun sa mga previous administrations. Ewan ko ba?
Alam mo yun na parang, guys, parang, meron pa ba, Attorney Trixie? Okay, please continue.
We are addressing trading and transport bottlenecks. Itinigil din natin ang pagkukotong sa daan at sa pantalan sapagkat ang tong ay nagiging presyong ipinapatong sa mga mamimili. Yeah. Oh shit, Sherlock! Wow!
Alam mo, halatang, pakiulit nga. Are you serious? Is this satire?
We cannot make this up, Sas. This is, I described it. Word for word.
Pakiulit nga. Pakiulit nga.
We are addressing trading and transport bottlenecks. Itinigil din natin ang pagkukotong sa daan at sa pantalan sapagkat ang tong ay nagiging presyong ipinapatong sa mga mamimili. Parang, is this a dictionary entry? Kasi inuulit niya. Tama ka, di ba? Affordable to all, accessible to consumer.
Pero parang, ano ba to? Flip-top ba to? Nati-flip-top ba presidente?
But, he is so capable of so much more than this. Alam mo, ikaw kilala mo siya. We've met with him. We've talked to him before. This is so not him. He's done better. Why
naman? Hello, sitting it. My God, like, how could this, alam mo, usually kasi naalala ko noong panahon ni Digong, so may scriptwriter, tapos someone's writing, pero parang may head. So may mga pinapasulat, and then the head checks it.
Yes.
Pero girl, kung ito na yung pumasa sa head speechwriter ni BBM, paano na lang paano na lang? My God, tinanggal na natin ang tong sa mga pantalan at ano to?
Sa daan at sa pantalan. Sapagkat ang tong ay nagiging presyong ipinapatong sa mga mamimili.
Parang kulang ng tong.
Here another no shit Sherlock statement, di ba? Hindi nga. Talaga. Pinapatong pala yung presyo.
Alam mo, he sounds more
inspiring. Call Nature Magazine.
He sounds more inspiring during the elections, especially sa foreign policy. Sure. Anyway,
masyado kung saan ang galing.
Pero, ano ba to? Dude, meron pa ba?
Ay, nako. Sa mga bagay, ang kaayusan at kalinisan ay gawin nating tuloy-tuloy. Ang bawat bakanteng lupa sa inyong nasasakupan ay taniman ng halaman at gulayan. Bakit? Ano itatanim natin doon? Ebidensya?
Lord, I mean, sa Bagong Pilipinas, para ganito yan eh. Kasi ganito yan, if your theme is Bagong Pilipinas, every sentence that you're going to write there, every pointers, iniisip mo ko gagad, sa Bagong Pilipinas, ito ang gagawin natin. So pag inapend mo yung Bagong Pilipinas, sa Bagong Pilipinas, ang bawat bakante ng inyong, ng inyong mga bahay, ay dapat ang bakanting lote at lupa ay taniman ninyo ng mga halaman. How does that sound like? Sa Bagong Pilipinas, ang bakanting lote ng mga bahay ay dapat yung taniman ng mga halaman.
Gulayan. Tamnan nyo na lang kasi. Sinasabi ko sa ebidensya ang gusto nilang itanim.
Okay, please continue.
But this small version is a nod to the green revolution of his mother without the intellect.
Okay.
Sa ating mga LGU ng outstanding performance ng bawat barangay, munisipyo, lungsod at lalawigan ay patuloy na susukatin, kikilalanin at tutukan upang ang bawat sangay ng pamahalaang lokal ay tiyak na magiging epektibo.
Alam mo, parang kilala ko sino sumulat ng script na to, ng speech na to.
Okay.
Hindi mo na halata yung flow ng speech?
Sino to, si Rocky?
Oh my God! Hindi mo na halata?
Naiko.
Okay, next.
I think that's I don't want to insult him. So, patapos na yun. So, sa sambayang he closes with, sa sambayan ng Pilipino, araw-araw tayong mananalangin, magsumikap at kumilos upang maging mas maginhawa ang pamumuhay. Bawat isang Pilipino sa ilalim ng Bagong Pilipinas, sa Bagong Pilipinas may pag-asa ang lahat. ang pag-asa ng bayan ay nasa ating lahat.
You know what? What's wrong with the speech? This is BBM during the elections. Sounds like a technocrat. Here, in this speech, which is supposed to be his historic speech, history in the making speech, he sounds like a student council.
Worse, actually. I wouldn't
Ay, worse pa?
insult student councils by saying that this is a student council speech.
Worse pa? Grabe ka naman, Atty. Trixie. Student council. Worse pa sa student council? Ano ba yan?
Alam nyo, and here's the thing there is a Bureau of Communications that is attached to the palace. It used to be under OPS, but I think now it's attached to OP. Sila yung nagagawa ng mga message, ng mga and you can ask them to write speeches. Sanay sila. This is not one that's written by the Bureau of Communications. Kilala ko sila and I know the quality of their work. So, pag ganito ka earth-shaking, halimbawa,
seryoso ka? Hindi ba nila kayang isulat ang red tape maging red carpet?
Sanay sila. Pero usually, like kunwari, I understand panahon ni Presidente Digong, may mga instances, like some of his sonas were written in part by Teddy Boy.
Yeah.
By Sec Teddy Boy. So makikita sa ilalim, pinag-uusapan muna nila yan. Di-discuss nila sa Presidente. Mag-uusap sila, maghaharap sila, tapos they'll talk about something, tapos sasabihin ni Sec Teddy Boy, this goes in there, this goes in there. Sends a draft, ko-correct ni Presidente, and that's it. So, noon, meron siya because iba kasi yung styles to be fair sobrang iba yung styles.
Hindi, ang kasi, but usually, Trixie, binabasa pa rin ng Presidente ang speech.
Yes.
Sa final approval.
Of course. So,
but ano nga yung pakibigay nga sa akin yung unang-una na red tape? Pwede pakisend sa akin yan. Tinype mo ba yan?
Yeah. Maraming typo ito kasi
okay lang. Pakisend naman sa akin sa Facebook.
Yun. Oo, sige. Maya-maya kasi nandito sa iPad So, but it's really,
kakaiba yung
hindi, kulang yung, and you know, we
there's nothing new. Ibig sabihin, there's nothing new. There's nothing new in his, there's nothing new in what he said. It's not inspiring. He is just rewording current responsibilities of government officials and the government in general. So ibig sabihin na ipagpatuloy nyo lang ang mga ginagawa ninyo. Period.
Gawin nyo naman yung trabaho nyo. Parang gano'n yan. Gawin nyo.
Na parang, parang, oh my God.
I expected something much, much deeper kasi we know what he's capable of.
Let's make food affordable to all. And one way of making it is making it accessible to consumers.
Actually, maraming redundancies pag nakita mo to. I think, you will need several trips to the bathroom. Hindi lang yan. Hindi lang yan. When he was delivering it, kasi I really think he was, his staff failed. They failed him big time. Kasi parang hindi niya nabasa. So, he was stumbling over certain words. Alam niya naman
he didn't read this before?
I think he must have. Pero siguro hindi malalim ang Parang I think
kasi girl, this is like your history in the making speech.
No, obviously more. Hindi. This cannot be made part of history.
This will be part of history. Hello? Red tape, palitan ng red carpet? My God, the imagery. Do you know what red carpet is in as an imagery? It means give them preferential treatment.
Ang red tape.
Ang red tape, ibig sabihin, nahihinto, bumabagal. Red carpet is preferential treatment.
Preferential treatment sila sa red tape.
Privilege treatment. So, oh my God, I hate myself. You know why? Because hindi ko alam kung boba lang talaga ako or hindi ko kasi Am I this stupid, Attorney Trixie, that I cannot see the brilliance behind this speech?
Well, I think it would be far-fetched to call it brilliant. In fact, ito yung the reason binasa ko siya, and I wanted to look at it. Kasi nga, one, ina-expect natin, ito yung bagong lipunan ng 2024, kumbaga, of the second Marcos administration. Pero, alam niyo naman na si Ferdinand Sr. malalim. So, bago ang lahat, ni-layout muna niya. So, dito, last minute, binasa ng anak. Diba? Parang feeling ko ganun ang nangyari. Na, again, another missed opportunity. He could have been inspiring. He could have, during the campaign, he was in fact quite inspiring. He's most inspiring kapag he speaks from the heart. Obviously, hindi siya yung nagsulat nito. Kung nagkwento siya, ewan ko kung narinig niya yung kwento niya dati. Yung nasa kotse siya, presidente na siya, nakalapit pa, ito, dapat nabatukan yung PSG, pero alam ko hindi nila kasalanan. According to him, nakatok pa daw siya, yung presidential limousine, may batang nanlimos sa kanya. So he gave everything he had in his wallet. Sabi niya, it wasn't much. Pero sabi niya, we have to do better than this. Or, hindi na pwede to. We have to do better than this. Naramdaman ko yon. So, we know that he wants something to be done. He wants change. It's just that he doesn't know how to get from point A to point B. He doesn't know how to put in the work in between. So nakikita niya yung poverty. Nakikita niya na naghihirap yung mga bata at may compassion siya for that. Pero how to address the issue of poverty is his biggest weakness. Yung getting there. So he doesn't have people who can execute his thoughts or execute the things that he wants to get done. So gusto niya, I want a branding campaign. Something that will tell the people what this administration is about. What we are going to be about. Parang, this is our, we have to, hand in hand with that is the Philippine Development Plan so that there is a blueprint. Ito ang tatahaking nating landas. Ito ang paraan. Ito yung mga titignan ninyo. Ito yung mga milestones. Pag naabot namin ito, kalahati na ng trabaho tapos na. Wala eh. I think he's just relying on amateurs. And those amateurs surround him. So whatever it is, the compassion we saw in the campaign, it's no longer there because he can't communicate them anymore.
Like, can you imagine? I just read the speech. Sabi niya, oh my God, like, I cannot believe this. Sabi niya, when dreams seem impossible, let us remember that our nation, Asia's first republic, was founded by patriots who were in their 20s, who never wavered in fighting for the freedom we enjoy today. My God, that republic.
Okay, I got that. I have a lecture, so which I give to students and I think it's going around somewhere. Now, we talk about how the revolution was fought by kids. Okay. It wasn't just Del Pilar who was a general at 21, but Aguinaldo was 30 when he was president of the Republic. The old man was Bonifacio at 33 by the time that he died. So when they were fighting it, Aguinaldo in fact was declared president at 28, 29, parang ganon. So the cabinet and all of them, they were kids. They were fighting the revolution, and they were kids. They were winning wars, they were winning battles, and so on. And by the time the Philippine Republic, the first Philippine Republic was established, it was a very young republic in all senses of the word. We continued that youth because in the Philippine-American War, the battles were fought by 9-year-olds, 12-year-olds who were acting as spies inside the camps of the Americans and all that. The battles were fought. There were no genders. Women were fighting with the men. Kids were fighting with everybody else. And in other words, it was a testament that the Filipinos all pitched in. We all felt that we were fighting for a country that we want to give birth to. Nandiyan na nasa cusp na tayo. We were on the brink of the Philippine nation, and everybody felt moved by it. And when they sat down finally at the first Philippine Republic, their faces, there was no old man in there. The old men either had died in the battles or could not participate. But this was a young republic, and it was full of hope. It was full of the fire that they brought from the battlefield into the republic. Unfortunately, something gets lost in the translation. Who were fought by men in their 20s, chuchu. No, that's a very pale narration of the first Philippine Republic. You have to tell the story. So unfortunately, the person who wrote this has a very shallow understanding of a country being born. So, and that's what it misses. The people who put this excuse of a speech don't even know the country. Paano mamamahalin yung bayan mo kung hindi mo man ito kilala? Tapos magsusulat ka ng speech, sasabihin mo na ito ang groundbreaking speech mo. Ito ang magiging blueprint ng iyong administrasyon. Hindi nyo man lang inaral. If there was an insult to the Filipino people, ito yun. How dare you foist something half-baked like this on us? Naghakot ka pa ng mga tao ng gobyerno para para umupo dyan? What a monumental waste of time and resources. Hindi mo
Yeah. Ito na yun. Kasi sabi niya, we now have that plan. The Philippine Development Plan of 2023 to 2028. My God, the wording says, meron na kaming plano ngayon. But the problem is, the plan was created January 2023. So 1 year mo palang sasabihin na meron na kaming plano. After 1 year mo sasabihin. It doesn't make any sense.
Sulat na yan. Pero
It doesn't
natapos.
make any sense. It doesn't make any sense, Trixie.
Oo. Ito talaga. Ngayon, pwede mo nang masabi yung budol.
Ano to? Parang,
Kaya nga eh.
hindi ko mag-gets. Bakit naging marupok ang paggalang sa mga batas at alituntunin? Dude, are you serious? Bakit marami sa atin ay napakababaw ng pagtingin sa ating kakayahan? Are you serious? Uso pa rin ang palakasan.
2 years ka lang presidente, sir.
Uso pa rin ang palakasan. Talamak ang palusot. Gustong makalamang, ayaw lumaban ng batas.
Maybe it's, we have to be kind. Maybe he was trying to sound relatable. Baka yun yung peg na inutos niya dun sa sa kanyang mga speech writers na simplehan nyo para maiintindihan at relatable. Diba? Pero it does sound like somebody from the ultra elite class trying to be masa. And it doesn't translate. I wish he just had been himself. In the English, kung English, sir, English ka naman eh. Huwag na tayo magkunwarian. Ito, papasa naman eh. Makaka-relate naman ng mga tao. Pwede naman i-explain. Pero sana, yung words niya, kaya niya to. Hindi, I believe this person has far deeper thoughts and more capability than what we're seeing.
Me too. Whoever wrote the speech needs to be fired.
Yes, but he has gotten used to the mediocrity of his staff. Hindi na niya alam, hindi na niya nakikita kasi ito na lang parati ang sinusubo sa kanya. So, ewan ko na yeah, sure, di ba? No, you have to have higher sa tinitignan ko kasi sinasabi tayo lang daw yun. Dahil wala tayo doon, pinagtatawanan natin. No, come on.
Bakit pinagtatawanan din namin si Lenny ah? Hindi ba, ano pinagkaiba po? Ano bang pinagkaiba doon? I mean, seriously guys.
Diba?
Seriously, what is something new in his speech?
Yeah.
Girl, I can get the persona of Pinoy exactly sound the same.
Hi. So yun.
Can you imagine being compared to the persona speech of Pinoy?
Hi. So once again, nakakita tayo na nagsasayang tayo ng pera ng gobyerno.
Yeah.
Yung
At
tao
sabi
na
na bawal ang waldas.
So
my God, bawal ang waldas, but every time that you leave the country and arrive arrive back, yung stairs mo, may fresh flowers parate. Explain that. The President of the United States don't even do that.
No, walang ganon. Kasi it's actually a security risk.
Yes.
Kasi, di ba, pag...
Biohazards. Everything.
Okay. So, yun nga well, parang throwback ito. Naalala mo, there was a time na pag sinabi mong government service, substandard yun. So, parang bumabalik tayo sa ganon. Ang daming magagaling na bata, sa totoo lang, daming magagaling magsulat, ang daming na if he can get out of his comfort zone and actually sit down with somebody with real talent and intelligence, magagawan siya na mas maganda na yung ayon dun sa kanyang iniisip. Hindi natin gustong pagtawanan, guys. Sinasabi ko sa inyo, natatawa na lang kami because otherwise iiyak ka. 'Di ba? So, what we're saying here is that this does not do him justice. Hindi siya wow.
Hindi, like, can you really explain to me, anong ibig sabihin ng the ultimate objective is to make food affordable to all, and one way to achieve this is to make it accessible to consumers. Guys, seriously, the food is not affordable because it's not accessible? Huh? Doesn't make any sense. If it's not accessible, there's not even a talk of whether it's affordable or not, because hindi mo ma-access eh. But again, accessible and affordable mean the same thing. Just me yung Santissima Trinidad. There's not...
So yan. Yeah. So, para sa akin, if we're going to have more of this, edi, tama nga. Medyo, okay, ganito. The context was, the president was trying to, and I have to use the term, okay, Harry, the president is supposed to be ushering a new age of government service. Ito yung, ito yung parang sinasabi niya na, okay, Philippines, the time has come. Level up na tayo. Kumbaga, he could have just said that. Level up natin ito. Level up natin yung gobyerno, yung serbisyo ng gobyerno. Hindi na pa po tayo pwede ng ganito. Let's just renew ourselves. So, what do you do as the leader? Ilalantad mo, ito na nga yung plano, ito yung mga Pero in the entire speech, he talks about the mundane things. He doesn't talk about, okay, it is 2024. By 2028, this is the Philippines. This is what the Philippines is going to look like. That I am going to bring you there. Diba? Yun ang leader eh. Sasabihin, he will point to a destination. That we are all going to get there. This is how we are going to get there. So, andaran natin to. Diba? This is what we're going to do in order for us to get to this point. So, si Ferdinand Sr. had the idea that the old society was bogged down. It was bogged down by superstition, by bad practices, that we were stuck in the 18th century, mga ganyan. So
we were backward, parang gano'n, yung backward, gano'n.
Plus, we had forgotten who we are. Walang national identity, di ba? We were always copying the Americans, parating our fashions were looking towards LA and New York and all that. Walang Philippine look, walang Philippine philosophy, kasi pagpunta nila sa Japan, they're met by this entire philosophy that the Japanese are their goal is the perfection of the everyday, the perfection of the ordinary, di ba?
Wala tayong ganyan. Wala tayong ganyan.
That's what Ferdinand Sr. was trying to do. Gusto niya na meron tayong filosofiya na gano'n. Kaya tama na yung lumang ganyan. Tama, oras na para sa bagong Pilipino. Bagong lipunan, the new society. In the new society, we go to work on time. We go to our appointments on time. In the new society, we are modern Filipinos.
Yeah, disciplined.
Yes, disciplined. Aware of our past, proud of our Filipino culture, but operating in the 20th century.
And may coherence yung mga nangyayari na they started building edifices, modern buildings. Imelda Marcos prioritized the arts, modernization of transportation, all the, di ba na energy, like if you're gonna look at there, nagtagumpay actually dun si Bacoy dun sa pataasin ng indigenous source of energy. I have the data, no? So,
si Mrs. Marcos, okay? A lot of people, because of the revolution, she was painted as mababaw, as gastadora and all that, and just interested in the frippery. But the fact was, I was one of the few who Senator Amy invited to the San Juan house when they put the recovered gowns on display, the ternos. She was not spending on the ternos as, I have a new dress, I cute ng dress ko, ganyan. No, the ternos are historical relics. Alam niyo kung bakit? Pag pumunta siya sa Japan, may homage siya. So I think when she went to South Korea, South Korean fans and ribbons. When she went to Japan, the same. But she was gifted with yung parang kimono na tela, and she used that for the terno. So may statement, pati yung art niya, yung mga kasuotan niya, should establish diplomatic ties. At the same time,
they're actually works of art.
Yes, and she was projecting a Philippine culture while at the same time reaching out to another country, establishing diplomatic ties through art, through the terno, the lowly terno that she leveled up.
No, she gave the Philippines its cultural look abroad. So yun yung eksena eh. And I think yun yung kulang dito sa Bagong Pilipinas, no. What is this Bagong Pilipinas? Kasi everything that you said is just a restatement of what Pinoy said. And alam mo yun, walang kasi ganito, no, na parang halimbawa, sabi ko sa iyo, Trixie, no, halimbawa ganito, we are the number 3 polluter of plastic in the world. We're just such a small country, but we have such a huge impact in the environment. By 2028, we will no longer be there.
Yes. And it's easy, doable.
And it's easy. Pag nagawa mo yun, kahit ano pa itong pinagsasabi ng mga tao na kapaligid mo, ako ang nagpatanggal sa Pilipinas sa listahan ng most, the country that pollutes the world the most in terms of plastic. Super simple nun eh. Di ba? You need to have a rallying cause. Si Duterte kasi ang rallying cause niya war on drugs eh.
Yes.
Hindi siya nagtagumpay. Hindi siya nakapunta sa zero. Pero you cannot deny that we were far from 100.
Oo. Tsaka in the first year, how many surrenderies? Di ba 1 million?
1 million. Over 1 million.
Hindi nga magkasya eh. Nagka-problema tayo sa overpopulation ng detention centers at saka ng existing rehab centers. So, I want to make it clear dun sa mga nakikinig sa atin, tsaka nakikilahok dito sa ating diskusyon. Hindi namin puntirya dito ay simpleng pagtawanan yung speech. Tinitignan natin kung paano i-relocate natin ito dun sa ating mga ginagawa, sa ating lugar, sa kasaysayan. Ano yung governance natin? Ito kasing Bagong Pilipinas speech is a statement of intent. Unfortunately, may plano na, nagsi-statement of intent ka pa rin. Diba? Policy statement ang susunod. So kung kunwari, ito may plano ka, ito na yung paraan para umabot tayo. Sa 2028, ito ang mga achievements natin. Kung yung 20 pesos na bigas, ito sige, 20 pesos na bigas, lagay natin yan dyan. Misunderstood yon by the way ha. Yung 20 pesos na bigas na sinasabi ng ating Pangulo, farm gate price yan. Hindi yan yung presyo sa palengke. O, iba yan ha. And yes, give credit where credit is due. Yun ang sinasabi ng Presidente. Gusto niya na merong kita o yung pagbili natin sa mga farmers ay sufficient para meron silang kita pero mababa enough para yung mga consumers hindi rin nadidihado. It was a statement of balance. Yun nga lang, hindi yun naitawid. Okay? O, sabihin niyo na time ko yan. Oo, pero hindi kasi ako ang personal comms niya. Hindi ako yung spokes niya. So instead, we were able to project naman the administration's intent. Unfortunately, 2 years later, hindi na dapat intent. 2 years later, naglo-locate ka na nasaan na tayo dito sa plano natin. Ano na ang nagawa? So kapag nandun na tayo, then the Bagong Pilipinas should have been ito ang triumph ng Bagong Pilipinas. Nandito na tayo in just 2 years na gawa namin ito. In just 2 years, let's say, kunwari lang, di totoo, napababa natin ang presyo ng bigas while at the same time ensuring that our farmers take home a decent living and can send their children to school. They can aspire for better things. Dapat yun na yung sinasabi niya, 2 years into the game. Kasi after 2 years, 4 na taon na lang natitira sa iyo, hindi na po kayo nag-uumpisa. Kayo po ay on the way. So, hindi
alam mo,
pero
alam nyo, kasi, kasi to this is the year before the midterm. Okay? Midterm election. Dapat, ngayon pa lang, meron ka ng achievements. May milestones ka na na pananampal-lampal mo sa mga tao. Kasi kailangan manalo yung slate mo ng 2025.
Correct. Yun nga eh.
Kasi
So,
you need that. You need to have a good slate ng 2025. Kasi pag wala ka makitang lalo na nakikita, usually, alam mo yan, Tixi, nakikita mo yung mga survey na totoo, no? Yung hindi pinapakita sa public, di ba? Sino mga nangunguna ng senatorial race? Puro kaayahan ni Digong.
correct. May mga surprises pa dyan sa mga nangunguna, di ba? So what is the discussion here? Dinidiscuss po natin yung speech kasi ginagawa nila itong kumbaga parang pinapakita ito yung tinatrabaho namin. Kaya sinasabi ng iba, wala kaming nagagawa. Ito kasi achievement namin for the past 2 years, mayroon na kaming plano. Hindi sir, last year may plano na tayo. Ang ginagawa ninyo, nilalagyan ninyo ng branding plano ninyo. Unfortunately, hindi naman po nagta-translate. Ang kinuha yata ng inyong speechwriter ay kinuha niya yung mga hinaing natin at sinabing hindi na namin gagawin yan. Hindi rin niya naman po sinabi ang paraan kung paano gagawin. So itong speech na ito ay statement of intent. So ang statement of intent, dapat nauuna yan sa policy statement. Nauuna yung statement of intent bago magkaroon ng plano. So intent means, nag-identify ka, ito yung goals ko. Ang goals ng BBM administration, ito. Okay, let's say kasama doon yung 20 pesos na bigas, na renewable energy, bumaba ang pollution index, etc. Hindi lahat yan totoo. So by this time, second year, nagsasabi na siya na in the 2 years ng BBM administration, andito na tayo. Itong inspirational speech po na ito, dapat nasa umpisa yan. Kasi parang visioning yan eh. Itong vision ko para sa Pilipinas, itong vision ko para sa serbisyo gobyerno, from red tape to red carpet. Ayan. Which really doesn't say anything. Kasi anong ma-visualize ninyo? Dapat pag nagsasabi siya ng ganito, nadadala niya tayo, kasama natin ng presidente, siya yung leader natin. So ang leader natin, alam niyo ba nung unang panahon, ang mga general, nagiging general lang yan, in part dahil magaling sila magsalita. So, ewan ko napanood niyo yung Braveheart. Kakausapin muna yung mga tropa. Sasabihin, ito ang gagawin natin. After that, merong inspirational talk. Sasabihin niya na, for your country, for your home, for your families. We will win this. Our women will be able to walk the streets unafraid. Yan, yung mga ganyan. Diba? We will expand our territories. No one will be hungry.
Baka yan naman kasi ang hinihintay yung speech. Huwag naman sana na dumating tayo sa point na magaganyan siyang speech. Alam na yun eh. Panggera na yan eh. Panggera na yung speech na yan eh. Pero
dapat na. Well, there's a war going on somewhere. Para sa akin, ito nga isa pa. Nasaan kung napakahalaga ng West Philippine Sea na tinatawag nila, hindi siya uma-appear dito sa speech na ito. Ano yung first na tinuturo sa atin sa international relations, di ba? If your country is disunited, find an external enemy. Yun, mag-unite yung bansa, di ba? They tried it with the West Philippine Sea, it failed. They should have been able to try it again, this time with Mark. Di ba? Pero hindi rin sila naniniwala.
Hindi alam mo bakit. Kasi it will only be effective na if you're going to find an external enemy, kung ganito tayo if it's believable that you can do that. Like for example, bibigyan ko kayo ng example, ha? Si Margaret Thatcher. Margaret Thatcher was disliked for a lot of reasons. One of them is she's a woman. She's the first woman prime minister of the United Kingdom.
Oh my gosh, they call her a man in skirts.
Yeah, so one of them, she's a woman. Number 2, she's a conservative politician. Ang ginawa talaga niya, nag-slash talaga ng maraming social benefits. Number 3, privatization, etc. So magulo at ang gulo-gulo ng England when she became a prime minister. This was in the 70s. My God, this was the time na umusbong ang punk music in England. And punk music was actually the music of rebellion. Okay? Yes. That's the history of punk music. Now, what did Margaret Thatcher do? Humanage siya ng external cause that could unite the British public. So what did she do?
Yeah.
Yung Falkland Islands dispute nila with Argentina. So she sent, parang, it's ours, we will reclaim it. So nagpadala siya ng British Navy. And then they actually, naging liamado sila doon. That's why
Nani sila.
Margaret Thatcher delivered a speech na parang, this is not a time for bickering, this is a time for celebration. Parang ganyan, victory for England. Parang, basta hanapin ko yung speech yan, hanapin ko. Pero, the British Navy was under the control of the British Navy.
Well, that's an island by itself.
Sa Pilipinas, you have a navy, but it's not good enough, so you are relying on the navy of another country. So, hindi ka po pwedeng gumawa ng Margaret Thatcher-like activity because yung ipanglulusog mo, hindi ikaw ang commander-in-chief. Ang commander-in-chief niyan is si Biden. So, kailangan mo munang kukutsabahin si Biden. Ano ako dito? Dehado ako sa domestic politics ko. Kailangan ko ng external enemy. Gusto kong mag-alam Margaret Thatcher, ganyan. Kung batuhan ka ni Biden, na parang, ha? Ako ang commander-in-chief niyan, ba't mo ko gusto i-command? Ulul, bala ka dyan. Diba? May sarili silang timeline may sarili silang ano. So that is the problem. Kaya hindi nga magiging effective kumuha ng external enemy. Well, they might try, but the thing is, the problem there is, if it didn't have that effect, lalo kang lulubog. Gets mo? Lalo kang lulubog because you put the country in so much jeopardy. At si Margaret Thatcher kasi, no, the United Kingdom kasi, madaling desisyon yun Can you imagine if their enemy is just their neighbor? Like Sweden?
Oh
Do
my.
you think Margaret Thatcher would do that? No, because it will disrupt the economy of the United Kingdom. So, layo-layo ng Falklands sa United Kingdom. You know? So, kahit ano mangyari doon, shielded tayo. Kung matalo man tayo, well, wala rin. Pero kahit magkagulo sa Falkland Islands, it will not affect the United Kingdom. It's too far away and that route is too inconsequential to British economy. But dito, the miscalculation, so much dangerous. So, ganun na.
So, yun. So, recap lang tayo. Pinag-uusapan natin dito yung speech ni Pangulong Marcos. Kahapon kasi, good night Miss Wanda. Kahapon kasi pinag-usapan natin ang speech ni dating Pangulong Duterte. At pinag-usapan din natin ang posibleng magiging repercussions, ano yung plano na bunga na ng kanyang speech. That's actually nakakontain naman yun doon. Today, in the interests rin of fair play, meron din kasing kasabay na rally yung pinuntahan ni dating Pangulong Duterte. So, merong Bagong Pilipinas rally. Ngayon, bakit natin ito dinidiscuss? Kasi unang-una, ito ay government activity. At kapag government activity, ang nagbayad niyan tayo, taong bayan. So yung proyekto ng Bagong Pilipinas, ito po ay publicly funded, meaning galing nga sa ating taxpayers. So ano yung purpose nitong Bagong Pilipinas? Ang purpose niya was supposedly to state na magbabago na tayong lahat. At ang blueprint ng pagbabago na yon ay yung 2023 Philippine Development Plan. At ang yung and kumbaga may mga problema talaga itong programa na ito. Pero nag-umpisa po ito kasi bilang isang branding campaign. So itinuloy pa rin nila yon. Ang sinasabi ng ating Pangulo, ito ang magiging brand ng Marcos administration. Masipag na ang mga government employees. From red tape to red carpet na. So, teka muna ha. Meron tayong mga tatanggalin. Okay. So dito sa speech na ito, it was supposed to be the launch of a movement that would characterize the Marcos administration. Unfortunately, iba yung goal nila, hindi nila na-achieve. Bakit? Uninspiring yung speech. Hindi maliwanag yung programa. Hindi pinag-uusapan kung ano yung goals. Hindi nakalagay doon yung kumbaga, sana in-explain na lang nila yung Philippine Development Plan at ano yung ating mga goals. So ang dapat, by this time, 2 years after President Marcos had taken his oath as president, in 2 years, dapat nag-explain na siya kung ano yung kanyang achievements. Instead, there was a launch last year and a launch this year. So in the 2 years, nakadalawang launch at wala pa rin nasasabing achievements. Okay? So yun yung natin, yun yung pinupunan natin. At kailangan pinupunan natin kasi tayo po ang nagbayad nito. Tayo po ang inadvertently ang nabibiktima ng ganitong klaseng mediocre work. So, when you have an administration that announces that things are going to change, ito ang magiging Marcos brand, we expect great things and we deserve great things. We paid a lot for this great thing and we have been sorely disappointed. Add that to the already growing list of things na ano natin, hinihingi natin. Pero babalik tayo. Ang problema ng Pilipinas, ang problema na hinihikayat natin, pakiayos-ayos naman po, mahal ang pagkain, tubig, kuryente, transportation, internet. Mahal na nga, hindi mo pa ma-rely. Pero, dito sa ano yun na naman ang binigay nila sa atin? Ang binigay nila sa atin, plano or statement of intent. May plano na binibigay nyo pa sa amin, statement of intent. Okay? So, in comparison, pinag-usapan natin earlier in the afternoon, para dun sa mga nasa YouTube, pinag-usapan natin sino ba ang nanalo dito sa communications game ng dalawang leader. So, the next day, the pagising natin, the day after the two, how do you call this? Combating, rallies, kaninong message ang nangibabaw? Sino ang pinag-uusapan? Ang pinag-uusapan, yung rally sa Davao. So, parang, kaya nga kami nandito, tinignan namin para fair. Nag-set kasi ng naratiba si Presidente Duterte. So, this morning, who is talking about President Duterte's speech? Even President Marcos, di ba? The speaker is talking about former President Duterte's speech. The narrative is set by President Duterte and the challenge is being taken up by the other side. Meaning, itong Pilipinas, bagong Pilipinas, has been, it's tossed to the wayside and all our taxpayers' money along with it because it was an exercise in mediocrity. So they wanted to communicate something and they lost. They didn't just lose, they lost bad. Because this morning, and the news is covering it, no matter they're attacking former President Duterte, who now has the narrative. All he has to do is come up with another pitik. And all this bagong Pilipinas, gone. All that money.
Hindi ba na parang, who's talking about bagong, alam mo, ang coverage na naman ngayon ng media, PBBM calls for unity amid turmoil. Unity na naman, Bex.
Bumenta na yun. I'm sorry. Di ba?
Anong, dude, parang, paulit-ulit na lang.
Okay. Let's answer some questions, Sas.
Sure.
Okay, number 1. Itong si Andy Fernandez sa TikTok. Sayang talent nyo, attorney. Pakitulungan nyo si BBM. I have news for you. Okay? Tumulong po kaming dalawa ni Sas. Okay, tapos na po.
She was removed. Hindi mo ba ang storya? Actually, Trixie was not removed. She resigned for medical reasons.
For health reasons.
For health reasons. Hindi lang po klaro kung kaninong health reason. So,
second, 'di ba? Meron pa shucks, nawala yung magandang comment dito. Ganapin natin yung iba. Na ano. So, may mga ganito na kulang yung mga yung mga unity na siya. Sige, let's explain. Sas, what is unity? What kind of unity should the country be doing? Diba sinasabi nila, kailangan unified tayo. Ako personally, you unite when there is an external enemy. Required yan. Kapag hindi kayo united dun sa external enemy, and that requires aggression, then that would be treason. So, ang treason, meron lang kapag may giyera. So, required ang unity doon. In a democracy, hindi kailangan tayo unified together with government.
Pwede na bang sumagot?
Go. You can interrupt me.
The country needs unity. For what purpose? Yung isang purpose na sinabi ni Atty. Trixie, yung sinabi niya. Now, ano bang kailangan ng bansa ngayon? Mataas ba ang presyo ng mga bilihin dahil hindi tayo unified? Yan ang number one concern ngayon ng mga tao. Pangit ba ang ating agriculture? Mahina ang ating agriculture production ay mahina dahil wala tayong unity? Sobrang late na ba tayo sa infrastructure development dahil wala tayong unity?
Obviously, the answer is no. So that is not what the country needs. What the country needs right now is for the government to actually do its job. If the government is actually doing its job, na talagang talagang nagkaroon ng bonggang development, you don't need to ask for people to be united because the people will just actually admire the development that you did. So parang, alam mo yun na parang, tingnan niyo yung problema ng bayan. Di ba mga meron nga dyang quarterly survey? Ano yung mga problema ng bayan? Inflation, trabaho, ano pa ba yung isa? Those problems don't need unity. Those problems need action. Those problems need program. Those problems don't, ang nakikita nating solution dito, ayuda. Kaliwat ka ng ayuda. Do you really think yung mga nakakatanggap ng ayuda, they care about unity? They care about receiving ayuda, tapos sabi nyo, hindi mag-unity na lang tayo. They don't care. Yung mga nakakatanggap ng ayuda, they don't care if the country is united or watak-watak as long as you give them ayuda. And that's what the government is doing right now. Because a lot are being fed ayuda. So baka naman kasi hindi unity ang kailangan, baka kailangan talaga is sabihin niyo sa amin kung paano masusolusyonan tong inflation, itong mga problema talaga kinaharap ng bayan, ang mahal ng singil ng kuryente, ang mahal ng singil ng tubig, these problems, real problems of everyday people. The solution there is not unity. So tigilan nyo yung unity na yan, bumenta na yan ng 2021, okay na, nag-unite na. Ang unity nun, pinag-unite si BBM sa si Inday, yun po talaga ang meaning ng unity na yon. Dahil kung hindi sila mag-unite, ang makakalusot si Lenny, that is the story behind it. Yung unity na yan. Ngayon, tapos na yon. Nag-unite na, nanalo na sila, overwhelming. Ang tanong ngayon is, paano mo ngayon papababa itong presyo ng kuryente, ng bumabalik na naman yung kagarapalan ng mga hinayupak na to, no? Sa kuryente, sa tubig, kakaiba. Tapos, those don't need unity. The country may be disunited. Kung ginawa mo yung trabaho mo para mapababa yung inflation, what would stop you? Sino ba po unite? Kaya hindi mo mapababa ang inflation? Yung mga oligarchs. Kanino mo barkada yung mga oligarchs? Kabarkada ba namin?
Okay. Naku, ang saya-saya nito. So yun. What is needed ngayon? Ano yung dapat ginagawa natin ngayon? Well, ang focus ngayon lately, yung issue natin is on charter change, of course. Diba? Although sinabi na held indefinitely yung petition na yung pag-validate ng mga signatures dito sa campaign na People's Initiative. Dito sa People's Initiative, hindi na po tinatanggap at indefinitely nakatigil yung pagkilatis ng ating COMELEC sa mga signatures.
I have a question there.
Ano na? Indefinite. Ang problema ko with indefinite is that pwedeng mabuhay yan any other time. Okay, go.
Ang problema ko din to, is People's Initiative constitutional right of people?
It's in the Constitution. So,
okay. So they have a right to do People's Initiative, di ba? It's a right.
Yes, kasi you determine a right by determining if there is an obligation to give it. It becomes a right when there is an obligation on somebody's part.
So ito, pag nagpag-People's Initiative sila, yung mga tao, who can stop the People's Initiative?
The people. Ganito. Kung People's Initiative, may karapatan ka, pero may requirements yon.
Yes.
So, kung ikaw ay nakakomply sa lahat ng requirements, may obligasyon na kilalanin yan at ibigay yung referendum.
Okay, gets ko na. So ngayon, assuming for the sake of argument, Attorney Trixie, assuming for the sake of argument that the People's Initiative is not an initiative of Congress, but non-congressional people, what is the only way to stop an ongoing signature campaign for People's Initiative?
Well, assuming that it's correctly being done, you mean? People talaga.
Assuming that it's not a congressional effort. What's the only way to stop the signature campaign from going on?
Wala. Kasi, If it is done correctly, the only thing that can stop it is a failure of the people's initiative itself.
Yeah, exactly. So ngayon, kumukuha pa na ng signature.
Mm.
Kakilatasin pa lang ng COMELEC.
Yes.
Yung signature.
Validation,
Why are you not,
after
So
the signature petition.
so why are you not validating it? Anong reason? Assuming na people talaga yung nag-initiate at gumagawa.
Yun nga yung nangyayari. Nagva-validate na daw sila. Tapos tumigil. So ang tanong, bakit tumigil? Kasi pwede yung mga people na winidraw nila yung petition, pero
Well,
kapag yung nilang petition, hindi pa nga na-file dahil hindi pa na-validate yung signatures.
Yes. So this is a premature suspension.
No, it's an admission that it is not from the people.
Okay. So tama tayo.
Tama tayo.
So,
Kasi di ba yung people yan, tutuloy nila.
Yes, correct. Kasi nga, kung people yan, katulad ng mga dati, halimbawa yung pirma, tinuloy yun. And then it was challenged in the Supreme Court, yung constitutionality nung petition, nung di ba, nung nagtagumpay. Tapos yung panahon ni Gloria, ganun, ang nangyari nun, yung sigaw ng bayan, COMELEC refused to validate. Ang ginawa ng sigaw ng bayan, nag-appeal sa Supreme Court, and then the Supreme Court sided with COMELEC kasi nga wala nga daw, walang enabling law, yung People's Initiative, nag-side sila dun sa decision nila sa pirma. Di ba? So ngayon,
6735.
So ngayon, why? Kasi di ba umuugong, sabi ni Subiri, as I understood him, it was the president who said na itigil na. Ngayon, ang pinapalabas ka nila sa atin, tao naman daw talaga yung may pakana ng People's Initiative, itong pirma. Attorney Trixie.
Diba?
Which is the first time that yeah, there's something wrong going on here, and I'm pretty sure na it's not my brain.
No. No, it's not even the angulo talaga. So kasi nga, di ba, kung pinigil nila and it is a genuine people's initiative, pupunta na sa Supreme Court yung mga yun. Di ba?
Yes.
I-questionin mo ngayon yung decision ng COMELEC na isuspend dito. Ano yung basis? In fact, yung suspension ng COMELEC, walang akaakibat na desisyon. So, kailangan correct. So, the COMELEC, since it is a body, they act through their resolutions. So, nasan yung resolution na yun? Basta na lang pinatigil. So, tama ka doon. Na another proof na hindi ito nanggaling sa taong bayan.
Ginubudol tayo kasi it is only suspended if there is a COMELEC resolution suspending it.
Yes.
Which will
allow the people to get redress from the Supreme Court.
So ngayon, ang nangyayari dito, it's not suspended, palabas lang.
Yung nagpapalamig lang. Kumbaga, pinapalipas lang itong init ng panahon at saka yung retorika ni Pangulong Duterte, ni dating Pangulong Duterte. So, yung problema, dahil indefinite din at wala kasing desisyon, kahit kailan baka biglang pumitik mag-umpisa na naman yan. So, remember, yung pag-uumpisa nito, parang sikreto din. Nalaman na lang natin, nagpapadala yung mga followers natin, attorney, ano to? Bakit pinapipirma sa amin? So, ayan na nga. Tapos ang sama pa pagka-deny, wala kaming kinalaman dyan. Pero December 11, 2023, in-announce pa ni Speaker na dapat daw umpisahan uli ang charter change at gagamitin nila ang People's Initiative kaakibat ng Constituent Assembly para baguhin ito. So ayan, coincidental lahat.
Pero kasi, the thing is, wala namang nanggaling sa mga tao na kailangan tayo mag-People's Initiative para baguhin natin yung article. There's no clamor.
Correct nga, na parang galit na galit ang taong bayan, naghihikayat, palitan natin yung voting jointly. Dun sa Article 17. Grabe, we're so oppressed. Kailangan voting jointly sila. Ano? Diba wala?
Bigla na lang siya lumitaw. I think, kasi yung timing nito di ba, nung sumambulat yung liquidation by certification, October yun, tapos buhay na buhay pa rin yung issue. Tapos bigla nagkaroon ng People's Initiative?
Yan. So yun. Yan ang backdrop ng kahit anong diskusyon ngayon. Itong initiative na dinideny pa nila. Really, hindi dapat natin kinukonsente itong mga Katulad nitong na
Pero,
mm,
Attorney Trixie, nagsayang na sila ng pera.
oo.
Paano po mababawi yun? So parang
Wala.
okay na lang. So parang okay na lang kasi pera din naman ng taong bayan yun. Pero kawawa naman yun, dapat talagang tumanggap ng tupad saka ng AYEX.
Oo,
Napunta dun sa mga gusto lang pumirma.
correct.
Tama ba itong tanong ko?
Sayang yung ayuda. Oh, anong tanong? Ang nakalagay, hindi masyado na Basahin mo.
Okay, ang tanong ko is there anyone who has a copy of the COMELEC resolution suspending the People's Initiative?
Wala. Wala akong nakikita pa so far. Of course, ngayon na tinanong mo, baka maglabas na sila.
Pero yun, tama naman yung tanong ko, di ba? It's really called the COMELEC resolution suspending.
Yes. The
Kasi
COMELEC.
nga hindi naman unbank yan, di ba? Every decision is by parang
By
Supreme Court,
body.
diba?
Although, pwede namang by a director lang yan. Kasi, sa totoo lang, wala pa yung petition eh. Kasi magiging petition lang, magkakaroon lang ng petition pag na-validate na lahat ng signatures. Magiging bahagi ng petition yan. So sa totoo lang, technically, wala pa yung People's Initiative sa COMELEC. Validation lang of signatures, which is really ministerial. Ibig sabihin, wala silang discretion, kailangan nilang i-validate yan. So that's another thing. Nasa validation stage pa lang, ano yung pinatitigil nila?
So naguguluhan ako, Attorney Trixie, una, sabi nila, hindi Congress yung may pakananong nasa behind ng People's Initiative.
Mm.
Okay, granting. So bakit kailangan kausapin ng Senado ang presidente para pahinto ang People's Initiative?
That's a political strategy, tactic. Kasi, aminado naman kung sino ang may pasimuno.
Hindi, sabihin natin tayo. Sabihin na natin tayo lang tayo. Hindi natin alam kung sino may pasimuno.
Okay. So, sila alam nila. Tayo hindi.
Hindi, kasi ganito. Bakit ikaw, Senado, bakit ka pupunta sa presidente para kausapin nakausapin ng House para pahintuin ang People's Initiative?
Ayun. Well,
Kung ang People's Initiative, ang nasa likod nito ay yung pirma. Di ba yun ang claim nila, yung pirma ang nasa likod ng People's Initiative. Pero according to my sources,
iba yung
parang wala naman doon nagkiklaim.
Wala, merong nakalagay na pangalan ng abogado doon. At ano pa ba? Merong mga
Sino yung abogado?
Attorney Tony, I forgot. Basta nandun siya sa petition. So, meron siyang, So, yun. Shrouded by mystery. So, ang gulo ba talaga? At saka hindi rin united yung administrasyon. Ano ba, aamin ba kayo o hindi? Sino ba talaga? Kasi sila Senator Zubiri, sinasabi na nila, hoy kayo yung House. And indirectly, Mr. President, itigil nyo naman. So, kasama din yun. Diba? Tapos at the same time, nagdi-deny, uy, wala kaming kinalaman dyan. Pero kayo mismo at pinag-uusapan ninyo paano itigil. So, hala. So, ano ba talaga, kuya?
Ibig sabihin, meron ditong nagsisinungaling.
Oo.
So ngayon, kasi, alam mo, Trixie, napakadaling usapin nito eh. Kung tunay yung pinaglalaban ninyo, ipaglaban nyo hanggang dulo.
Correct.
Diba?
Hindi ko naman natin alam kung saan ang dulo nito. For all you know, recess lang to. Tapos, mamaya balik na naman. Magre-return sa compact
Kaya
niya.
nga, pag yung pumilik, niloloko tayo. Paano yung sinabing sinuspend niya?
Paano nga nila isuspend? Ministerial duty yan. So, madi-suspend yan kung merong intervention.
COMELEC has no power to suspend an ongoing signature campaign.
Correct. Kasi wala pa nga sa COMELEC. COMELEC does not yet have jurisdiction. Yun, over the issue. Magkakaroon lang ng jurisdiction itong COMELEC pag na-file yung petition. Ma-file yung petition pag na-verify na lahat ng signatures. So, technically, the COMELEC is only doing ministerial. Parang alam mo yan, yung pagboboto ka, titignan nila, napirmahan mo ba dito? Na ano ba, nag-thumbprint ka ba? And all that. Yun lang ang ginagawa nila. And that's ministerial. They cannot say no. They cannot say hindi namin pwedeng i-validate yan. Kasi hindi nila ma-file yung petition kung hindi i-validate yan. So, pwede actually sila ipamandamos.
Di ba sabi ni Salceda na ano na yan? Na-reach na ang signatures.
Yun nga eh, may nagsabi gano'n eh.
Be!
Diba?
Tapos wala rin kinalaman daw ang executive, pero pera ng DSWD sa kanang DOLE, budget ng DSWD sa kanang DOLE, yung binibigay sa mga congressman na magpapa-PI. This is graft!
Exactly.
This is graft monumental level. Kasi 20 million per congressman. Ilang congressman yon? Sabihin na lang natin, Trix, 3 congressman lang yan. 60. Is it not plunder?
Oo nga, no? Kung kung 60.
That's, graft is also plunder, no? Or magkaiba ba yan? Or,
Ang plunder, non-bailable at saka life imprisonment siya.
ano pinagkaiba ng
graft,
plunder?
bailable pa. Graft, specific kasi, naka-enumerate yan sa RA 3019. So, yung Anti-Graft and Corrupt Practices Act. Sa halimbawa, yung isang tao, nakaupo dun sa board, may discretion siya, tumanggap siya ng pera to decide favorably or unfavorably o wag magpakita sa ano. Yun. May very specific siya.
Isn't this graft? This is the budget of DOLE and DSWD, IX and Tupad. And wala dong condition na kailangan silang pumirma for People's Initiative in order to receive that. So that is graft.
The technical malversation actually.
Technical malversation.
Malversation kung ito ay walang budgetary item, di ba? Kung mayroong item pero you spent it for another budgetary item, technical malversation yon. So dito, kung for private purposes, this is, ano ba? Malversation. Kasi binulsa mo, tapos ginamit mo dun sa PI. So yeah, pwede rin. Tapos kung more than 50 million yan, plunder na siya. Plunder is bound.
I think this is plunder.
Likely, oo. So
I
yan,
think-
maamin pa nga sila.
I think dapat sampahan na to. This is plunder to the highest level. Kasi, tuloy ba yung investigation ni Aimee?
Oo.
Tuloy ata.
Oo. Walang sinabi naman na i-atlas eh. So ang tingin ko, isa din yun sa reasons kung bakit pinatitigil yung signature campaign eh. Baka si pambansang ate pa yung magtanong eh. Paano mo yung yun?
Sabihin ko nga ang mga kuliglig, itanong nyo na, hindi ba plunder ito? You're using government, a budget for Tupad and IX for People's Initiative. At ang budget ninyo ay 20 million per congressman.
Pero kailangan mapatunayan na galing yan sa government funds yan. Diba? Then there are ways of proving that. Basta ma-source natin kung saan nila kinuha. At kung ang pinagkuhaan ay gobyerno, ay tapos na ang usapan.
Gobyerno eh. Di ba nga yung alam na nila Joel Villanueva, gobyerno yung di ba? Alam na nila kaya nagagalit si Joel Villanueva eh, kasi nga yung pera talaga ng ay, di ba bakit sa tingin yung nagdasal-dasal si Aimee, si Jesus is Lord?
Alam mo naman ang lola mo, ang pambansang ate. Alam niya yung mga ganyan. So kapag na, kasi hindi siya magsasalita dun sa rally, whether it's Bagong Pilipinas or the Davao rally. Pero, yan, nakakuha siya ng pagkakataon. Ito sa good forum. Tapos very creative para masabi niya yung mga kailangan niyang masabi.
Naku, kailangan natin i-verify kung plunder nga ito, no? Kasi this is monumental plunder. This is 20 million per congressman. There are 300 plus congressman. And this is worth 6.5 billion.
So bukas daw ang hearing, sabi ni Ma'am Mia. So, ni Senator Aimee. So, ayan. Ayan na. So, yun. So, in the meantime, pagod na ako. Pangatlong oras ko na to. Ay, nag-live ako kanina ng 2 oras. So, makatulog na nga. Sas, maraming salamat. Final words, final statements.
Ang final word ko ay, sana may magbigay sa akin ng copy ng Comelec resolution suspending the People's Initiative.
If any, or whatever order was issued.
Kasi kung walang order, hindi siya suspended.
No, it doesn't exist. Diba?
It doesn't exist. Niloloko na naman tayo. Binubundol nyo na naman kami.
At walang the Comelec's job in verifying the signatures is what we call a ministerial function. They can't say, no, we won't do that. They have to do that. Right? It's part of their job. So pag tumitigil sila, it must be, there has to be a reason. Kasi this is the ordinary course of their job. If they have to stop, kailangan merong dahilan. There must be a countermanding order.
There must be an
Yes.
order kasi yung order, yung resolution ng COMELEC, yun yung ito-challenge sa Supreme Court.
Correct.
So,
Okay?
ibig sabihin, ay nako Tracy, I feel this is another budol.
Oo. Ay, this is another hashtag, di nyo pera yan.
Another hashtag, hindi mo pera yan. Ano ba to? Ang gulo doon. Sige na nga, tulog ka na.
Maraming salamat sa lahat ng sumubaybay sa amin, both sa TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, at saka sa Rumble. So, if you want to, para dun sa mga nasa TikTok, kung gusto niyo makita yung replay na ito, hanapin niyo lang po sa Luminous by TCA and AGP sa YouTube, mas madali. Or sa Rumble, madali rin hanapin. So, maraming salamat kay Sas, muling nakilahok dito sa, sa kalokohan natin mga sutil. Maraming salamat. Mag-ingat po ang lahat. Kailangan po kayo ng bayan ninyo. Lalo na ikaw, Sas. Kasi mamimiss mo yung tawa mo. Pagka nagkakasakit. Magdalaw ka nga one of these days. So, okay, good night, everybody. Thank you. See you again.